All right, the NFL has officially set their 53-man roster for all of the teams. We're going to take a quick look at historically what happens to players who are cut. And we're going to look at 3 notable examples of players who surpassed expectation and managed to rise to incredible historic feats after being cut from their respective teams. What do you guys think? Once you're cut, is it game over? Is it the end of the road? Or is there hope? First, let's take a look at what happens historically by the numbers when players are cut. So every year, about 1,200 players are cut once the rosters are set. Of those percentage of players that are cut, 60 to 70% of those players never play another NFL snap again in the regular season. So yes, that is a kind of doom and gloom statistic, but let's go even farther down the pipeline. Of those 30 to 40% of players who see another snap, they're later signed by another team. Less than 10% of that group of people go on to become starters or consistent contributors for multiple seasons. Then you go even farther down that pipeline of players who have been cut but live to see another day on the field. About 1 to 2 players per season in the league as a whole go from being preseason cuts to earning all pro or Pro Bowl honors in the following 5 years. So that's kind of the realistic by the numbers side of it. But then let's quickly look at 3 historic players who have risen against all odds. The first being a very successful, very infamous story of Kurt Warner. In 1994, he was cut by the Packers. He went on to work as a civilian in a grocery store. He played in the Arena League, and then he was brought back into the Packers in 2000 to win a Super Bowl. He is now in the NFL Hall of Fame, and he was a Super Bowl MVP twice. So a very from rags to riches story, if you will. Secondly, Arian Foster. He was cut in the preseason of September 2009. He went back down to the practice squad. The very next year, in 2010, he led the NFL in rushing yards. Then, third, but last but not least, Raheem Mostert. In 2019, he was cut by the 49ers. He bounced between 6 different teams. Then he had an absolutely historic, record-breaking playoff run with the 49ers in the NFC Championship all the way in 2020. So what do we think? Once you get cut, statistically, it is unlikely that you will see another snap, but if you do, it looks like you really become an all-star in the NFL. So is it worth it? What do you guys think about this odd, kind of heartbreaking dichotomy of being an athlete, the risk versus reward of being a consistent long-term player in the NFL?